Okay, y'all. Let's finish the segment. Okay, reporting live. Okay, I'm just kidding. But I know I might look crazy, but I'm in my closet because I'm trying to shield my kid from what I'm saying, and I'm cursing and stuff like that. So, and I don't do that around her. I might slip up and say "God damn" or something, but you know, and I don't want her to hear any of this because, like I said, she was a baby. She still doesn't know anything. So, and it's gonna stay that way. But okay, basically, so I'm out the house and I'm staying with my friend now. When I said ruthless and stuff, like, it's so crazy because, no offense, please do not take what I'm saying the wrong way, but every Jamaican I have encountered from that point is a different type of I don't give a fuck. All right, I'm just gonna say that. So I'm staying with my friend and her mom, like, and I'm still talking to, I still got my boyfriend, but he has his own, you know, whatnot. Now, let me just break down what his situation is. He is a street pharmacist. Do not get me, people. Do not get me. All right? Don't judge me. Judge your man. All right? But he's a street pharmacist. And he is a producer. He makes beats. So he had his little setup in, his place. Now, in Florida, the common thing is it's a lot of people renting out efficiencies, and they shacking up, like they add on buildings to their houses and stuff like that, and they'll rent them out to tenants and stuff like that. So that's the situation he was in. He didn't have a car, he had a bike. God, ladies, look at what the fuck is going on before you decide to what I want to say, before you start to intermingle with a dude, especially I get it, some things happen, but we're in our 20s, so leave me alone, okay? Like, I was going through a lot of shit right now. I'm going through a lot of shit right now. Like, leave me alone, okay? But so he's living in an efficiency that is attached to a main house. Now, he's also living with this man named, I'm not gonna tell you his name, but he was a Jamaican. They're Jamaican. So he was half Jamaican. He was Jamaican American. His parents are full Jamaican and blah blah blah, but he was born here. Anyways, so him and his friend were staying in an efficiency. So I would come over there and chill. Like, I got to know the friend. He was so sweet. Oh, he could cook. He was very clean, and he had his own little business. He was an entrepreneur. Like, he was in his 40s and stuff like that, but he was so sweet, and he loved Layla. Like, he loved, I'm talking about waited on Layla hand and foot. So when I say that God placed people in my life, it didn't matter what they were doing to me. They loved my baby. So that's all I cared about. So, they know my situation that I'm going through and stuff like that. So I started staying with my friend. But my mindset was, this is not my home. I'm kind of uncomfortable. I'm out of place. I'm sleeping in their spare room. And I don't like the way they living, but I have nowhere else to go. And in the meantime, I told y'all about that Flex account. So I had to apply to get that money back, to get that $2,500 back. So in the midst of me waiting for that $2,500, I'm still working at the bank. Now, mind you, shit is going up at the bank. Our manager, she goes on maternity leave and stuff like that. Everything was cool, copacetic. Now, I told you I don't like dealing with money. So my drawer ended up being short one day because we were the only location that was short staffed. We had the smallest staff. Our bank was the smallest out of all the other locations. So we were kind of in a bind. So when shit got crazy. So you have to be really on point when it comes to dishing out that money. And, sometimes you think you on point, but sometimes you not. So my drawer was short one day $200 mysteriously out gone out of nowhere. I don't know. Never was able to find it. Because if you're able to find it, then cool. But if you give that money out away to somebody, then you're fucked. So I had a ding on my belt, but I wasn't worried about that for real. And demon lady was gone. She was on maternity leave. So anyways, I'm living with the friend. So my mindset was, this is not my home. I really don't like the way they live in. So I used to go to work. I would go to my boyfriend's house. Me and Layla, I would pick Layla up from daycare, go to my boyfriend's house. We would chill, at his house and whatnot. And then I would come to their house, when I'm ready to lay my head down, take a shower and lay my head down. Y'all, I couldn't even take a shower. Like, she had a cat, and it's just like they weren't clean people. And I was so shocked because I kind of didn't get that from her, but you don't know how people living. So check that shit. But I'm literally, I have nowhere to go. I'm waiting on money to come in, and on top of that, I'm looking for efficiencies myself to go live in. And one thing about Florida, they are so just, it's so stupid out there. I was on the waiting list for Section 8 from before I even moved down there. Section 8 in Florida is hell. Like, they close their waiting list. They won't even open up their waiting list because it's so many people on that damn list. So I just gave up hope on that. Me giving up hope. Yeah, I did. I gave up hope on that because I'm like, I got money, I have a job, so I'm not worried about, income coming in. So, but then on top of that, I still have a car, and I'm still having to pay car note and car insurance. So my car note was like two something, and my insurance was like one something. Because mind you, I'm still connected to these goddamn people because I need a car. How am I going to get around? So, like I said, I'm living with them. So I used to come home like around 8, 9 o'clock when me and Layla ready to lay our head down. Because I thought in my mind that that's just staying out the way. I'm already intruding. I'm the type of person where I don't like to invade people's space. I don't like to intrude. I'm out of my element right now. So, but I'm trying to survive. That's all I'm trying to do is just survive what I'm going through. So we start having problems. Now, I had just bought Layla a bunch of shit. And then my boyfriend had bought her 2 pairs of Jordans, had bought her some outfits and things like that, stuff that she never wore. It was just sitting up in the room. Now, it was time for me to pay my $60, but I didn't get paid until the next day. Oh, she didn't like that. My friend's mom, she did not like that. She Jamaican. She wanted to get paid on the day she wanted to get paid. Now, mind you, she's going through shit. She had her own business. She was like a nurse or something. I forgot what she was, but it was in healthcare. She was something in healthcare, and her business was failing. Like, they were losing money. So I get that. On top of that, I got my daughter's friend and her kids staying here, and I need that $60. Understood that. So I'm trying to talk to them and just be like, okay, I will have the money tomorrow. I don't get paid until on Fridays. So I won't have the money until tomorrow. She did not like that. When I tell y'all, I came back to that house that night, the next night, and I greeted them going in the room and whatnot. Like I said, I get off work, get my baby, we go chill with my boyfriend, and then I'm coming to the house to lay my head down. I get in the house, get situated. Now Layla's stuff, like all her shoe boxes and stuff, were in a corner. I had everything, organized and laid out so I can find my stuff, because there was still other stuff in that room. That's their guest room. So that was like an extra room for them to put stuff in. So I'm just trying to put my stuff where I can. I'm not being picky or anything like that, because that's not me. I'm in someone else's home, and I respect that. I have respect. Like I said, I was raised right. So I get home and I notice All of my baby shoe boxes are empty. Y'all. So I go into my friend's room and I'm just like, do you know, like, where y'all like moving stuff around? Like, because I can't find Layla's shoes or anything like that. And I'm talking about she's looking oblivious. She's looking like, no, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. No. She was like, check again. Literally going in the room to help me fucking find the shit. Okay. So dismiss it because it's late. I got to go to work tomorrow. I got to drop my kid off. Whoop, whoop, de whoop, de whoop. So the next day, I tell my boyfriend, I'm just like, Layla's shoes are gone. Like, I don't know. And mind you, I give her the $60 as soon as I get it. Give her the $60. And I asked her, no, I'm talking to my boyfriend. I'm just like, her shoes are gone. He immediately starts saying, they took her shoes. They took her stuff. They took her stuff. And I'm just like, I don't think they would do that. Like, why would they do that? Me being stupid. So, and I'm texting my friend at work and I'm like, you sure? Because I cannot find those shoes and they were just there the day before. And she was just like, no, I don't know, but I do want to tell. And then she was like, I do want to tell you, like, my mom is like, you haven't been paying her and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I literally just paid your mom the $60 and I'm literally just waiting on this money to drop my account so I can get going. And I'm still trying to find an efficiency, but I'm staying out of y'all's way. That didn't fucking matter. That didn't fucking matter. So I'm gonna fast forward, finish up my day at work, get to my boyfriend's house, and he is fuming. Like, he is mad because, mind you, Layla is a baby. She's 3. So y'all know the Jordans, the little baby Jordans, they cost like $60. They like $60 a piece. He is going off. He's like, I know they took your stuff. I know they took Layla's stuff and I'm not having it. So me, him, and Layla, we pile up in the car and we go ahead and go over there. So he's been able to come in the house. Like, he's been chilling at the house with us sometimes. When I didn't go to his house, he would come up and pull up and see me. Because, mind you, I met him through my friend. So they knew each other long before I came into the picture. So he was cool to come up in the house and stuff like that. He even came up in the house to come help me look for the shoes and everything. The mom comes home. And, oh my God, he ends up asking her where the shoes at. Once again, ladies, do not do that. Do not have a man speaking for you. Do not have, because you're making it worse. Just like you Facebooked that dude, you're making my shit worse. But I'm not thinking that way. I'm thinking, okay, he's protecting me. Like, I understand he's mad. He bought the shoes. He bought the shit for my baby. So, yeah, I would be mad too. Oh, both of them was just sitting up in that living room, not giving a fuck, not saying nothing, not doing anything. So I leave. They get into it. I'm stopping everything. I'm just like, my child is here. Like, my child don't need to be in the midst of this. Like, we adults, we can talk civilly. But no, y'all don't want that. So I'm just like, let's just go. So we leave, do our thug thizzle. I go to his house. We eat, calm everything down and stuff like that. And it's time for me to get back on the way to the house. So I'm going to tell y'all something else. Like, when I said that I stayed in a gated community when I was with Gert and Invader Zim, she stayed in a gated community too. So I'm pulling up to the motherfucking gate and I tell them my name. And the security guard comes and walks up to my window and says, oh, you're not allowed on the premises. What you mean I'm not allowed on the premises? What are you talking about? My friend didn't tell me anything like that. Like, I know it was a situation, but, we can talk this through. Like, I still have shit at that house. Now, mind you, I was still keeping a lot of my shit in my trunk. So every day I'm riding to work and stuff like that with all my clothes and shit in the trunk, half my baby stuff in the trunk and stuff like that. Like, it's 9 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock at night. And he tells me, we can't let you in. So I call my friend. I'm just like, what is going on? Why is he saying I can't get into, the community? Like, what's going on? And she's just like, well, I'm just gonna, like, my mom is really upset, and she doesn't want you back at her house and stuff like that, and blah 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, well, can I at least come and get my stuff? She paused on the phone for like 3 minutes. That was the longest 3 minutes I've ever had. Her mom gets on the phone and says, in that Jamaican accent, I don't cause problems. You had this man in my house and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Renee invited him into the house. Like, they're cool. Like, I didn't have anything to do with that, but I need to get my stuff. I don't care what you're saying. I need to get my stuff. I'm not saying this to the lady because I'm still being respectful because I was raised right. I'm still being respectful. Y'all, that lady got on that phone and told me, she said, well, your stuff is not here anymore. Your stuff is in the dumpster. I went and threw it in the trash. So you mean to tell me you threw all my baby shit in the trash? Because the only thing I had left to get was Layla's stuff. Because I didn't want it messed up. I didn't want it, ruined. I didn't give a fuck about my shit. I'm worried about my baby shit. So she's just like, yes, your stuff is in the trash. Go dig it out the trash. Y'all, when I tell y'all Florida is a different type of fuckery, I had never encountered people like this. Like, you throwing my baby stuff in the trash? Why would you do that? Why would you do that to a little innocent kid? And it's not like I did anything to you to where you would do that to me or my baby. So, literally, we arguing and screaming on the phone. I just say, fuck it. Okay, cool. I'm stranded. I don't have nowhere to go with my kid. So, I'm sorry, y'all. This is just, I have not spoken about stuff like this in over 8 years, like actually verbally saying the shit out loud. But God, I'm here, okay? Like, I'm here. But, so I'm literally homeless. I'm homeless with my kid. And the Gert and Invaders them, they don't know what the fuck is going on. So it's just like, I call my boyfriend and I talk to them now. And, they let us come stay over there. So mind you, in the meantime, I'm still trying to find an apartment and stuff like that. And in the meantime, there's still hell going on at my job. So, like, basically, the other coworker that I had, she was fucking up at work. Like, she's been there, but, her name was Miss Elizabeth. She Spanish, didn't speak. I mean, she spoke English and whatnot and stuff like that. But, whatever. She was so sweet. Like, I didn't have no problems with Miss Elizabeth and whatnot. But her and our manager, they was in cahoots. So when it came to picking a side, she's going to pick Miss Elizabeth's side all day, every day. Got it. Whatever. So, but Miss Elizabeth was fucking up at work. Like, she was messing up transactions. There was one time she did a transaction. We had a coin counter that we called Rosie. And we would have to balance that every night. So there's a man that came in and, they come in with their coins and stuff like that. And they put him in the machine. Now, he was a regular. And he always came in with a bunch of coins. Just a little small tidbit before I get back to the real story. But he would always come in with coins and stuff like that. So One day he comes in with a bunch of coins, runs it through Rosie. Now Rosie was having problems too. She was miscalculating shit sometimes, but we didn't know at that moment. We wouldn't know until we started like balancing her and whatnot, or if it was giving problems while the customer was dumping their coins in. So the man dumps his coins. It spits a ticket out to let them know how much money it was, how much the coins was, and stuff like that. And so the coin read $1,700. Miss Elizabeth does her thing. She, gives him the money and stuff like that. At the end of that night, when we started balancing Rosie, that man ain't coming there with $1,700. He came in that bitch with $700. She gave this man an extra $1,000. So you know what she had? I'm talking about she's scrambling. We all scrambling. Like we all trying, like we all like panicking and stuff like that. So when you make a mistake at the bank, you have to fix that mistake, especially if you know how to catch it. So she had to call the man and let him know, I need $1,000 back. Actually, no. You know what she did? She took it out of the man's account. Didn't even say nothing. Didn't even call him. Took it out of the man's account. Didn't call him until the next day. Oh, wrong protocol. You ain't supposed to do that. You're not supposed to withdraw funds from somebody's account without calling them and alerting them first. But you think they cared about that? No. So that's a small story. Whatever. Back to what I'm doing. So we are at my boyfriend's house, spending the night there. And in the midst of this time, I get my deposit from the flex plan. Got that. And by the grace of God, we were looking at efficiencies in the midst of me and my mom and her friend and her mom, my friend and her mom, doing that, because I don't want to be up underneath somebody's shit. I don't want to. Like, I want my own, but Florida is just so hard for you to find somewhere to be. It's just stipulation after stipulation after guideline after rule. And the thing is, in efficiencies, most of the efficiencies, they don't want you to bring kids in there. So they'll have big ass letters on findmyapartment.com or some shit saying that they don't want kids. You got to be by yourself. You can't have a car. I have everything. What are y'all talking about? So it was so hard for me to find somewhere. But one day I looked up and I found an efficiency. The man he had just finished building it, and it was in my price range. I felt like I could handle it. I wasn't sure, but I didn't give a damn. It had its own private way, own entryway and stuff like that. He allowed me to, have a car and stuff like that. So it was cool. I was like, how fast can I move in? We set up a time to move in. I said, I have the money and stuff. I have the money on this day and stuff like that. Because I wanted to wait until I got paid again to add more to the money, because I was going to try to give him more money up front just so I could be comfortable and just breathe. Y'all, when I tell you that the day I was supposed to come and get that man the deposit money, this man want to tell me that, oh, I'm sorry, somebody came along with a higher bid. A man saw the efficiency and he said that he would pay more money than what I offered. I offered what you offered, and then I offered a little bit more, but he went over my bid. So the man was like, fuck you and your kid. I'm going to let the man move in. So I tell the man, thank you anyway, because I have been through so many defeats. I have been through so many just situations of people like fucking me over. And I'm just like, do y'all not see I have a kid? Do y'all not see that? It's not like I'm out here like I'm just like just a stupid ass girl out here just floating around like I have a job, I have a car, I have a mind, I'm a good mother. But they don't give a fuck down there. Florida is fucking ruthless. They don't give a fuck. They want money. Money talks. From the time I got there with them people, money talks. You ain't shit because you ain't got money. You ain't shit because you ain't got money. You ain't got enough money for me, so I'ma fuck you, and I'ma go to this person because they got more money than you. I don't give a fuck about you having a kid. Okay. So my boyfriend was with me. So he talks to the man, and we say thank you anyway, whatever. And then we slide back to his house. When I tell you, I just bust out crying. I'm talking about like dry heave crying, because it's just like, when is it going to end? When is it going to stop? When is somebody going to? I don't know. I was literally crying out for help. I'm talking about boo-hoo crying. Layla is in the back seat. I'm talking about, she's 3 now. She doesn't know what's going on. She just sees mommy crying. Do you know, my boyfriend, he looks at me and he literally starts shaking me. He literally starts shaking me, telling me like, stop it. Stop it. Like, what are you doing? You can't be crying in front of her. You can't be doing all that in front of her. Hold on. Yeah. So he literally like, what are you doing? You can't be doing all of that in front of her. You can't let her see you break down. You can't let her see you weak. You cannot do that. Pull it together. Like, pull it together. So I'm like, okay, like, wipe my tears, get my shit together, like, turn around, start making faces at my baby. You know, I used to do this little I used to sing this song, like, y'all remember the nursery, like, skinnamarink dinky dink, skinnamarink doo, I love you. So that was like her favorite, like, nursery rhyme. So I turned around and I started singing it. And she just laughing, giggling, and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I got to get my shit together. Got to get my shit together, because this cannot break me. This cannot break me. So at that point, I had a decision to make, because my kid does not deserve any of this. I'm good. I'm a G. I can float around out here. I got a car. I'll sleep in my car. I'll do whatever I need to do. But I need my baby to get to safety. I need my baby to get somewhere. Now, mind you, I didn't tell y'all that in the midst of me moving out of Invader Zim and them home, I snatched Layla up out of that daycare, because I didn't know what those people were going to do. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I snatched her out of that daycare, and my friend ended up putting me on to the daycare that she was taking her son to. It was just this sweet lady. Her name was Miss Stephanie. And, you know, she would go, you know, she did daycare out of her house, and she was like the neighborhood mom. Like, so all the kids in the neighborhood grew up around her, like they were raised by her or went to daycare with her. So I was comfortable with that, and I would pay the $60 and stuff like that. So she was going there, but it was just like, I had a decision to make. So I had to sit up here and go back to this fucking lady and tell her that I needed Layla to stay with them, because I'm a sacrifice for my kid, because I know they live well, and I know they would take care of my kid, because I can't do it right now. I'm sorry. So that's what I did. So I ended up staying in the efficiency with my boyfriend and his roommate. And, you know, his roommate would sleep on the couch, and me and my boyfriend would sleep on the bed. So, and then I would still like go see Layla. I would have her like on the weekends, or I would pick her up from daycare, because now that she was back in their home, now that she was back with them, they ended up putting her back into the daycare that she was originally at. So she was back into her swing of things, and I would call her. I'm literally coming over there when I get off work. I'm coming to the house, and I'm taking her to the park. Nothing's gonna stop me. Nothing is going to stop me from seeing my kid, providing for my kid. Whatever I had, I didn't care what situation I was in. So that's what I did. I made the sacrifice to give them my kid, and once again eat what they were giving me. Because now that you're in a bind, and you on your ass, cool. I'm sorry, I skipped the part. So I'm jumping ahead of myself. So mind you, once the man fucked me over with the efficiency, I had nowhere to go. So before I even moved in with my boyfriend and them, I had the $2,500. So I literally had to find a hotel. So I was living in a hotel in Hollandale, paying, I forgot how much, I'm paying like $70 a night. So you know how fast that eats up money. And meanwhile, I'm going through shit at work. So by this time at work, another girl has been hired on. Her name was Miss Ty, which is very fucking ironic. But oh my God, but I loved her. Miss Ty was God-fearing. Oh, she was just so sweet. Like she noticed me. She recognized me. It was like we were the same soul. Now, she was older. She had 3 kids. She was married and things like that. But baby, when I tell you it was God all over her, you could not refute that. So, and this is how shit happens. So she gets hired on and stuff like that. Now, mind you, our manager comes back from maternity leave, and she's getting Miss Ty acclimated and stuff like that. Like, I'm from the South, so anybody I feel is older than me, I always say Mr. or Miss, and they would look at me crazy when I would do that. Like, I'm from the South, like Southern hospitality. Like, once again, I was raised correctly, so I don't feel right just calling an elder by their name. Like, no, I'm saying Mrs. Elizabeth or Miss Kim or Miss, the only person I didn't say Miss was Narima, because me and Narima, we're around the same age. Narima was like, I'm like 27. Narima's like 30. So, we're around the same age. Now, Miss Ty and Kim, which was the manager's name, they started having problems. Like I told y'all, Miss Ty is God-fearing. She saw the evil in that lady. She peeped it before I did. She saw the evil in her. And so one day we're talking, and we're in the drive-through, because that's where I mostly was, in the drive-through. So we're in the drive-through, and she tells me, she starts crying. And I'm just like, what's wrong, Miss Ty? Like, what's wrong? She was like, baby, I don't know what to tell you, but you need to find somewhere to go, because I'm about to leave here. She says, the devil is busy up in here, and I will not have any parts of it. And I'm just like, what is she talking about? Like, what? I'm like, what's wrong? She was like, you need to watch Kim. You need to watch her, because she is trying to pit us against each other. She is trying to replace you with me, and I'm not going for it. She is trying to do everything in her power to plant little seeds in my head about you, not knowing that we talk, not knowing that I see the Spirit of God on you. Now, once again, I'm still operating in flesh. I do have my faith, but If you watch my earlier videos about God coming to me, after that, I really lost faith in God. So I was still shaky on some things. Like, I could still feel energy and shit like that, but I'm going through a lot of shit, so it's not clicking to me. But she was like, watch her. And then lo and behold, that next day, she quits. No, Miss Kim ends up firing her. Before she even had a chance to quit, she ends up firing her. So we exchanged numbers, and she, like, keep in contact with me. And she was like, if I find anything else, I'm going to let you know. So that was that. So once Miss Ty leaves, oh, Kim is on my head now. She's trying to get me out that bitch now. So remember I told y'all the story about Miss Elizabeth and how she was in that man's account and withdrew money from that account you weren't supposed to do. So one day I'm balancing Rosie. Told y'all Rosie used to have problems. Rosie wasn't balancing. And they tried to blame that shit on me. So the thing is, in the company is, if you get a phone call to go down to Sunrise, the main location where we had the trainings and stuff at, and you're not like going for training, and you just get a phone call to come to the corporate building, you're about to get fired. So this bitch, acting all like nothing's going on, she comes in that morning and was like, I have a big meeting at the office and stuff like that. So she goes in her office, calls me on my phone, because we all had our own phones, calls me on my phone and says, I need you to meet me down at Sunrise. Bitch, you don't know. I know what the fuck that mean. Deuces. You think I met that hoe at Sunrise? No. I politely got in my car. I called my boyfriend and said, they're trying to fire me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dip. Goodbye. I'm out of here. Whatever. Done with the job. So now I can fast forward back to, I didn't have a job. I'm waiting on unemployment. I'm living in an efficiency with my boyfriend and his roommate, and they are having problems with the people in the main house. Like, literally, the woman in the house popping pills on, like, it was just so much shit. The husband was a psycho. He's beating on her every day. You can hear it through the walls, people. Like, hear it through the walls. So my child is away. I'm cool. I don't got shit to do with them people. But me being there started to be a problem. So I'm trying to find somewhere to go. Now, mind you, I was staying in that hotel. I stayed in that hotel for 3 months. I was able to keep it together for 3 months. I mean, got acquainted with the workers. They will watch over me and Layla. So when I tell you, God placed people in my life, still, I did come across some good people. And I just thank God for them, because they literally carried me. And they loved my child. So I was thankful for that. But it came to a point where I couldn't pay for a hotel every day. That shit is a lot. It's expensive. So I'm sorry, y'all. It's so much. I've been through so much shit. I'm literally jumping. I'm jumping everywhere and trying to make sure y'all get the picture of the story. So I stayed in a motel for 3 months. And then after that, I found somewhere to be at. There was a girl who, in Sis Trunk, oh my God, if anybody knows about Sis Trunk, don't y'all ever. Now, Sis Trunk, my daughter's godmother literally stayed in Sis Trunk. So I already knew the area. Didn't want to fuck with it, but I didn't have a choice. And the girl had kids Except her kids didn't stay with her. Red fucking flag. But she was on Section 8 and stuff like that. So we talked and we set up an arrangement for me to pay and stuff like that. So me and Layla literally only stayed there for like a month. Because I'm telling y'all, people in Florida, they are so grimy and conniving when it comes to fucking money. That hoe was trying to rim rag me for money. One having that shit. So literally, my boyfriend, he couldn't take it anymore. So he was just like, no, y'all come stay with me. And I was like, I can't do that. So that's when I gave Layla over to Invader Zim and them. And then I was just out here. I didn't have a job. I still had my car, thankfully. But that's all I had to my name was my car. And it still wasn't to my name because doormat was still... And I didn't have money to pay for the car note and car insurance. So thankfully, they didn't snatch that shit from me like I thought they would. I was on borrowed fucking time. Every time I was on borrowed fucking time. So... yeah. So I'm going to just fast forward and then I'm going to end this video. Because the next segment is about to get crazy. I'm going to be talking about domestic violence. Yeah. Yeah. So literally, when I say I have been abused for years, all the while still trying to be a mother, all the while still trying to keep a brave face, all the while still trying to be somebody. I'm still trying to be somebody. I hate crying on because I hate when people get on the internet and cry and shit like that. But I have a right to cry. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. So by this time, I'm living with my boyfriend. Don't have a job. I'm applying for unemployment. So I'm waiting for that to come in. But I'm still looking for jobs. Now, I told y'all he was a street pharmacist, right? So, and he was a producer. He made beats. So, like I said, that's one thing that attracted me to him, his mindset. Because even though he was doing that, he didn't want to do that for the rest of his life. And I commended that because sometimes we got to do what we got to do to get to the next level. I understood that. I'm no stranger to weed. I'm no stranger to none of that. So it's just and I was smoking too. Whatever. Don't fucking judge me. I don't give a damn. So he ended up enrolling in school that was in fucking Miami. When I tell you I've been all over Florida, it's crazy. So I would drop him off to school in the mornings. Any plays that he needed bust while he was at school, I was busting them plays. Yeah, I sold weed, people. Oh my God. Call the press, whatever. Yeah. I was scaling, gramming, bagging. I was doing all of that. So yeah, I know what a 3-5 feel like. I know what I know this shit. Whatever. That was in my past life though. Leave me alone. So yeah, I'm over there busting plays that he need. If somebody wanted something, I'm over there busting plays when he at work. I mean, when he at school and whatnot. And in the midst, I'm still trying to find a job. So I'm that was the longest period that I went without having a job. And mind you, I'm still going through shit with Invader Zim and Slickback. Gert. I have so many names for this lady. I don't give a fuck. Whatever comes out my mouth is what it comes out my mouth. Because I done been silent for 10 years. It's 10 years now. My baby's 10. I've been silent for 10 years, so I don't give a damn what come out my mouth when it comes to talking about those evil people. Fuck, this is my truth and my story. So, mind you, I'm still going through shit with them. So, I told y'all that they stay in a gated community. Y'all, it got to a point to where they took my name off the list. So on the days that I was supposed to come and see Layla or get her or stuff like that, I wasn't allowed in the gate. I'm literally having to prove who the fuck I am to get in, to get access. So one day, the security guard knew me, and that's the thing. Like, he didn't even want to do that to me, but he was doing his job, so I understood. But he let me through the gate one day. So nobody's at the house but doormat. Nobody's at the house but doormat. So doormat's in their room, and I'm going upstairs to to get Layla. So I just stopped by the room, and I'm just like, I'm having problems getting through the gate. So can you just tell them, like, we have an arrangement, because I need to be able to get through. That man was sitting straight up in that bed, ignoring me. Fucking ignoring me. And I'm just like, Mr. Ron, like, do you hear what I'm saying? You know what this man told me? He said, you need to go. And I'm just like, but I just want to know that I'm able to get on the premises when it's time to go get my child. And this man literally sits up. This man literally sits up strong in his bed, but you don't have that energy for your fucking wife. You don't have that energy for your wife, but you want to have that energy for little old me. You want to have that energy for little old me. And all I'm asking is to keep the communication clear when it comes to me coming to get my kid. So he sits straight up in his bed. And this is the loudest I've ever heard this man talk. Because any other time, you got your panties up your ass. Because your wife is around here rim ragging you and telling you what to do. But since you home alone and you feel like you got some balls, you want to say some shit to me. So he sits straight up. He was like, you better get the hell out of my house. I'm talking about screamed at me. Screamed at me. Screamed at me. Telling me to get the hell up out of his house. Do you know what that does to somebody? Do you know what that does to somebody who already is feeling like she's losing the freedom of her kid? Like, y'all are trying to lock me out. Y'all are trying to shut me out of my kid's life. Y'all are trying to make it to where I can't even get to my kid. And all I was doing was saying, can we just make it easier for me so I can get through? Because sometimes they're not home. So people, you know, when you pull up to the gate, the security guard will either call the numbers that are listed to see, hey, can this person get through? Everybody was at work. And so they called the house phone and nobody answered. So the only person that was there was Grandpa. Grandpa's not going to answer the phone. He don't give a fuck who calling. So that was my whole point. Like, just let them know we have an arrangement. Like, that man screamed at me. And when I tell you I left that house defeated. So I called her and I'm like, for one, don't have your husband yelling at me when all I was asking was to make sure that I have access to come and get my kid. You know what this lady want to tell me? I can't control what my husband does. Well, you don't live here anymore, remember? So you have to deal with what you have to deal with when it comes to coming in our space, in our home. That's what I got. That's what I got, y'all. That's what I've been dealing with. That's what they were doing to me. They couldn't wait for the opportunity for me to fall on my ass so that they can let me know once again you are Alabama trash. And you're going to do what we say. And you're going to listen to what the fuck we want to do. Because now we got your kid. Because you can't take care of her. You can't provide for her. So you shut up and you deal with what we giving you. But every day these people go to church and show face and be up in the choir and be going to Bible study and shit. And y'all out here abusing me. Abusing me. Straight abusing me. And my family has no idea. You think I can call my grandma and tell my grandma what they doing to me? Do you think I can do that? It took so many times for my sister. My sister, she just had a feeling. She just knew. Because mind you, I wasn't talking to them. Because I was so embarrassed. I was so ashamed. So ashamed. But my sister was ready to dig her motherfucking heels in that bitch. She was ready. And I just wanted to keep the peace. I just wanted to keep the peace. So I would tell my sister little things, but I wasn't telling her like what the magnitude of the situation was. Because once again, I got myself in this shit. So I have to get myself out. Okay. I'm going to end this video right here. Because I got to go do my baby hair. She got school tomorrow and stuff like that. But I'm telling y'all, I'm not nowhere near done. We on year 3, y'all. We just on year 3. We're probably on year 4 now. It was just now the times and like the ages may be off, but I'm literally going in order. So excuse me, it's been over 10 years. Excuse me if I'm jumping all over the place. I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's what I was dealing with. And I never gave up. Never gave up. Because I have nowhere to be. And in between that time, I'm talking to my uncle. My uncle comes and visits me. Y'all didn't know how bad I wanted to cry to my uncle and my auntie and just go hop in that car with them and leave, but I couldn't. I didn't have nowhere to go. They didn't have room at their house. They have kids they're still raising. My grandma, after the house burned down, my grandma had to go to assisted living. So she's in an apartment, her own little 1-bedroom apartment and stuff like that. So you can't move me and my baby up in there. It's an assisted living. My sister is living with my stepdad. And like I said, me and him, we never had a close relationship after my mom died. Like after my mom died, I deaded all that shit with everybody. So imagine not having anywhere to go, nowhere to look to, nowhere to turn. I gotta thug it out. And that's what I'm gonna do. Because I will not be defeated. This is not how I pictured me being a mother. This is not how I pictured me bringing a child into this world. But like I said, they had plans for me the whole time. This is what they wanted. And it's crazy because everybody who was connected to them also fucked me over. So we gonna take a pause on them right now. In my next video, I'm gonna tell you about the relationship between me and my boyfriend. So And I will be talking about domestic violence because, yes, I'm not ashamed. I made it through. I was in a domestic violence relationship, but that was something that was tagged on to my bloodline. My grandma went through it. My mom went through it. My sister, me. So that's something that I had to deal with. But I'm going to give y'all the backstory of how that happened, how it started, why it started, and how I got through it. But I'll be back. I'm going to catch y'all later.